Here's how I went from 0 to 6 figures, and this was the start of my entrepreneurial success and how you could probably implement a lot of this to be able to do these same actionable things. Look, if you have big dreams and nothing to start with, then this video and channel is probably gonna be for you. I didn't have any shortcuts or come from a rich family with a ton of connections. I literally started with a hardworking dream and aspiration full of somebody that I always wanted to be, but never really knew how to get there or had the right people around me to teach me. So a lot of this shit I kind of just had to figure out on my own. Look, if we fast forward just a few years ago, I know it may seem like a long time, but back in 2019, I was working for $8 an hour as a seafood department worker at Albertsons in Orange County, California. I grew up with a traditional family. Dad worked his ass off. Mom stayed at home and took care of the kids as a mom should do. At least that's what I believe, but maybe we save that topic for a different video. I'm gonna try to zoom this thing in so we get a little bit more personable here, but I want you to know that because a lot of people that you see on social media actually come from a background that they preach they don't come from, but in reality they do. And take it from me, I'll pop it up on the screen somewhere right here, have my editor do it. I literally used to serve seafood at the seafood department less than 6 years ago. And just today alone in one of my businesses, we've cleared over $30,000. We have about a 60% margin on it. So coming from where I originally was less than 5-6 years ago to where I am now, I'm at some Airbnb out here in Jacksonville, Florida for some event that we're doing with one of our teams. It's been a journey to say the least. And actually, just because I feel like talking to this camera is gonna be a very personable thing, I'm gonna take you guys off the tripod and more so just sit down and talk to you, so it's a little bit more of a personal vibe. Yeah, I think this should be it, but let's try to flip this thing around and see if we can do this properly. There we go. Literally out here filming in some Airbnb. I think we're out here in Jacksonville, but I'm gonna try to make this video as best as I possibly can because this is the first YouTube video I've ever actually made, truth be told. So where were we at? Well, basically, this is what you have to understand. In order for you to go from where you are to who you want to be, you have to understand that helping yourself, and this is why I'm a huge believer of not really self-help and personal help, but you gotta understand that the person that you are is the reason why you have the life that you do, right? And so a lot of people think that you should help the person that you currently are to become a better version of yourself. But the reality is, in order for you to actually dictate a new life, you have to become a new person. So rather than trying to help the person that you already are, which has probably led you to a place that you ultimately don't like being, you actually have to recreate yourself into a new person. I know that may sound like a fairy tale or some witchcraft, but it's true. If you look at somebody who is somebody you aspire to be like, and then you look at them 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 15 years ago, or 25 years ago, chances are they are no longer anywhere near the type of person, characteristic traits, belief systems, paradigms that they see the world through. They're not even relatively similar to who they used to be. Maybe in some ways, right? Maybe they have curly hair, or they like sports cars or stuff like that. But if you compared me to who I was for where I first started all of my entrepreneurial journeys that have led me to where I am nowhere near the type of person that I was when I first started this adventure. If you would have told me that I would be filming some video for a YouTube channel for other people to watch to learn how you can do the same sort of thing off my laptop and my camera at some Airbnb, that I'm here all alone out here in Jacksonville, Florida, you would have, hold on. You would have literally painted a picture to me of an Anthony that I would have never even truthfully believed could have ever existed because of the type of person that I once was versus who I am now. And the reason that I tell you that is because I want you to actually understand and know that in order for you to create the type of person that you want to be, you have to let go of who you are and actionably move towards creating somebody new, which is gonna dictate the life that you want to live. See, there's this big misconception that all you have to do is become a better person to be the type of person that you want to be. But in all reality, the type of person that you are has ultimately led you to the life that you are no longer happy of living. It's kind of like the dude that's overweight cannot really help himself. He must start changing into a new person, right? The easiest way to start changing into a new person is by identifying as somebody else. And I know, like I said earlier, it might sound crazy, but the easiest way to start getting in shape is to start acting as if you are already in shape and do what people that are in shape are actively doing. It's like if you want to go from being broke to making money, you should start actively doing what people that make money, living the life that you want to live, actually do. They probably wake up earlier. They probably don't do drugs. They probably don't disrespect people. They probably read books. They probably go to the gym. They probably do these things and dictate this type of person that is nowhere near like you. So in order for you to be like them, you must what? Recreate yourself in totality. And that's just the truth. I know it sounds weird, and maybe it sounds, I don't want to use that word because I don't know what kind of people are going to watch this video, and I want this channel to grow, and I don't want to get shut down. But it may sound dark, to say the least. But the truth is that you've been lied to. You can't just be better. You have to be new. You have to be a completely new person to achieve completely new things. And like Albert Einstein once said, or at least they say he said it, right? Einstein said a lot of which who knows if he actually said it. But the truthful definition of insanity is doing the same exact thing on a consistent basis, but expecting a different result. That's like me putting my hand into the fire and I think eventually I will not get burned. That's just probably a little bit insane, which truth be told it is. So if you want to dictate a different life, you have to start dictating different inputs. The only way to create a new output is by putting in new things. It's a very simple process. Just like going back to getting in shape, right? The only way for you to change the way you look right now is by putting different things in your body. Your mind is no different. Your entrepreneurial skill set is no different. Your ability to make money and command respect and lead a room or a team or build the business that you want is no different. You must start embedding things new into your life that will create a new type of person. And as a direct reflection of that, the different person you will become will see a different world. It's how it works. Success is pretty simple. A lot of people just tend to overcomplicate it. And honestly, I think that's just because a lot of people aren't successful and a lot of people try to overcomplicate everything, right? You see this in so many different lives and so many different cultures and so many different things, whether it's business, entrepreneurship, relationships, friendships, belief systems, religions, politics, right? There is so much overcomplication. And when you grow, you must understand that complexity fails and simplicity scales. So keep your life simple, okay? Find a group of people that you like. Build a team that you know has your back. Pursue a career that you know you can actually stick with even when things get hard. Follow the traditional diet that works for you. Study actively on what it is that you want to do. Go to the gym and read the book that you know you should do 5 or 6 days a week. And if you got to take time off, take time off. But it's not an overcomplicated thing. I think what a lot of people do is to feel their own ego and not take such a blame on themselves is they like to tell themselves lies about the reason as to why they aren't the person they wish they were to make themselves feel better. It's kind of like the overweight guy that says eating out is very hard to keep up with when you're traveling all the time because you work remote. Which is it? Or is that the lie he's telling himself, which is why he's going to feel better as to why he's overweight? It's up to you to decide. And that's the coolest part about life is you get to decide the type of life that you want to live. Now, of course, when you're winning, of course you like to brag that those are the reasons that you're winning because you decided to do the work and effort that it took to get you where you are. But if you're losing and you're overweight and you're unhappy with your life or your marriage or your business or this, that, and the other, it's very easy to point fingers. But remember, when you point fingers, you're really pointing 3 fingers back at yourself. And that's why you have to understand accountability. One of the key traits in being successful is taking accountability. And the best way to do this is to remove your own ego, okay? Your ego is not your amigo, and a lot of the times your ego is gonna hold you back more than it's gonna help you. One of my favorite books that has led me to a great life is The Enemy is the Ego. Actually, no. It is Ego is the Enemy. But that's by Ryan Holiday. And believe it or not, I've read that book way too many times and I'm surprised I forgot the cover of it. But the reason that I tell you that is because if you can learn to remove your ego, that is the easiest way to get ahead in life. So many people, and you'll see this in so many different directions and so many different ventures and so many different places, is that so many people get stuck on their own foot. And if you could simply remove yourself and not really care about what other people think about you, not really care if somebody else is gonna like you or not like you, because you can't please everybody. But if you can learn to please yourself and you can learn to actually command the respect that you want for yourself, then you can do anything in this world. But if you lack respect for yourself, if you don't trust yourself, if you can't rely on future you, well, then how is anybody else ever gonna be able to rely on you? And in all reality, I share you these things because I wanted to sit down and my team wrote me this cool video for me to be able to read to you. And eventually we'll probably systematize this thing in a process to where I can, come up with cool ideas every single week on an entrepreneurial skill set to be able to give you guys to copy and go out into the world and create more freedom and income for yourself. But I think this first video, and that's why I took it off the tripod, was gonna be so personal, because you gotta understand that majority of these people online telling you what to do or what avenue to take or what business to follow, the thing is that no matter what you do, whether you own an Amazon business or a consulting business or a construction business or a roofing business, there's so much money to be made in the world. But you gotta understand the type of businesses that succeed are because of the type of business owners. And there's no such thing as a business that failed. There's only such thing as a business owner that led its business to failing. So if you focus on the type of person, man, woman, whatever it is that you are, because we live in an interesting time now, okay, is you gotta understand it's the type of person that you become along the way that's gonna allow you to give yourself the life that you've always wanted. So focus on you, focus on yourself, focus on the inputs, and stop focusing so much on the vehicle. Because if you can't trust yourself, if you can't rely on yourself, if you can't depend on yourself, yourself, nobody else is ever going to rely or depend on you. So don't go out there and try to start this business or try to start this thing when you don't trust yourself. Get consistent with things that matter first. Now, I'm not saying that every day, you know, in order to be a millionaire, you got to make your bed. I don't believe that, okay? Because my maids make my bed. So I don't necessarily think that you have to have a perfect, you know, your couch has to be clean, your silverware has to be put away. I think there's a lot of things that people stigmatize in this world that is not really anything to do with making money, right? It's like, you got to have a morning routine to make money. The most successful mentor I have, Brian, if you're watching this video, which probably not, you probably don't even know how to go on YouTube. Well, you're not that old, but anyways, this guy is, oh man, like if you saw the way he lived in his house, you know, and the way like his office is so disorganized, but yet he knows how and where everything is. It's amazing. I don't know if he's borderline, you know, just genius, you know, probably. But the point of what I'm saying is that you just have to figure out how to navigate the world in yourself, right? I know a lot of people that are overweight and make a lot more money than me. I know a lot of people that are in great shape and make a lot more money than me. I know a lot of people that are in great shape and overweight that make a lot less money than me. Okay, so you don't have to be the guy with the six-pack abs. You don't have to be the guy with the perfectly clean living room. You don't have to be the guy that makes his bed every morning. Do I do a lot of those things? I go to the gym. I keep my shit really clean. I'm very OCD, so I'm very like, I like everything in place. That's just the type of person I am. But does that mean that you have to be that type of person to get those results in life? No. You guys see some of the founders, billionaires, they're so big and fat and just, you know, messed up relationships with their wives and kids and families, but they still run 10, 11 figure organizations. So that's not going to be the deciding factor on whether or not you make it in this world. But the reason and why I'm telling you these things is because I don't want you to get tricked by social media thinking you have to be this perfect avatar. You got to make your bed. You got to do your dishes. You got to go to the gym. You got to do all these things. Look, at first, I think that's a great way to provide consistency in your life. Going to the gym isn't going to make you a bad person. Taking care of yourself is not going to make you a bad person. Being in shape isn't going to make you a bad person. Making your bed's not going to make you a bad person. But are those going to be the actionable things that make you a closer person to being the person that you want to be successfully as an entrepreneur? Well, it depends, because we all view entrepreneurship as a very unique whole. Okay, I'm a believer of health, wealth, love, and happiness are the 4 pillars that you should go after. I know a lot of people that make a lot more money than me that live a way less quality of life than me, because they're not happy in life, right? So it's like, at what cost does all of this come with? If you're worth $1 billion, but you're so big you can't get out of bed and you're that unhappy because your wife left you, is that really success? Now, I could go on and on and on, but I just wanted to make this video for you guys, and I forget why I was even making it in the first place and what my team had written down, because now I'm over here sitting on the couch with my hoodie on, with the air kicked on at 62 degrees, kind of ranting to you, rambling to you, but I hope this video helps at least one person. And I think that's the goal of this channel, is these videos are to be out there and help just one person. If I could just touch and help one person, no Diddy, okay? That's all I care about, because there's this story I have, and I'll leave it with this, is there's a grandson on the beach with his grandpa, and he's gonna grab this crab and throw him back into the ocean, and there's so many crabs, and they're all dying on the sand. They're all getting captured on the sand. And he goes and he picks it up and it bites him, and he goes, oh shit. And the grandpa says, dude, what are you doing? There's so many of them. He says, no, I'm gonna save that one. He says, dude, what are you doing? You're not gonna save them all. He said, yeah, I know, I'm gonna save that one. And so he picks it up and he tries to grab him again, and it bites him again. And he's like, dude, listen to me, what are you doing? He's like, dude, I'm gonna save that one, grandpa. So he picks it up again for the 3rd time, and he throws it, and as he's throwing it out, bites him again. That little, we won't say that, okay? And the grandpa goes, dude, you see, you should have listened to me. You're not gonna save them all. And he said, grandpa, I just wanted to save that one, and I did. So the moral of this story is that, I like this quote, I help people that are often left behind, because that was once me, okay? I used to make $8, $9 an hour. That was once me. So even if I can help that one person often left behind, whether or not we even ever interact, whether you follow me on social media or you reach out, or in 4 years, I get a video from you saying, hey, I watched all your YouTube videos from that first one in that Airbnb you were at Jacksonville, Florida, all alone with the AC kicked on, and you were in your hoodie and you were walking around kind of rambling, okay? And because of your videos, you motivated me to be the type of person and understand that I just had to cultivate somebody that I never thought I'd ever be before to get a new result. And now you became successful. That's all I want. That's all I'm doing it for. I make enough money. I'm not going to make any money from these YouTube videos, and I'm making this channel simply to help the people often left behind. So I hope this video helps you in any sort of way that it possibly could. And just know this video is going to be a lot about what I do, which is one of my businesses, which is selling on Amazon, another one of my businesses, which is an educational company, and then some other things that I like to do as well in my free time, which I think can also make you not only a better entrepreneur, but also a better leader for your teams to be able to make more money in business as well. So hopefully this video is cool. Hopefully it interacts with some people people. If you guys like these kinds of videos, whether it's about Amazon, consulting, sales, marketing, psychology, team leadership, entrepreneurship, or maybe we throw some personal stuff in there as well, all I want you to do is just like, subscribe, favorite this, send it to somebody, whatever we do here on YouTube, because again, this is my first YouTube video. If you want to drop a comment, let me know for any future video ideas. I would appreciate it. And I think that's all I got for you now. So shout out to the first video, and to anybody who's watching this, I appreciate you being here and I welcome you along for the ride. Peace.